When you're born into a family business, trying something completely new can be hard to imagine. This is a story of how one farmer took that bold step and has been reaping the dividends of a very different kind of business. Four generations of the Binney family have been tenant farmers in Angus. But when the chance came to buy the land he and his forefathers had worked for so long, Brian Binney got more than fertile fields. He also became the owner of a disused quarry and immediately spotted a new business opportunity. He knew there was growing demand for good stone for building dikes.
I was always thinking that the dike and stone there was real potential there, but most people were saying a waste of time. But we kept on it and we kept on it, and eventually we managed to get planning in May 2004, and we got up and running and started selling dike and stone immediately, which was great.
Although he was determined, Brian was no expert in stone. His wife Ali, who now works in the business too, remembers starting from scratch.
The learning curve has been virtually vertical because neither of us knew anything about quarries or stone. I mean, I can remember Brian lying in the bath with geology books. You know?
But eventually their hard work paid off.
And what was your first order?
The first order was a guy over at Ochterhouse, Ron McGill. I think he ordered about 6 tonne of stone, and he ordered dike and stone, but he also ordered rockery stone. We gave him stone that was so big because we dug it out with a forklift, he couldn't handle it at the other end, so that was a great start, right enough. But that got us up and running because he was involved with the Dry Stone Walling Association, and so he started putting words out that you know, we could supply stone. Well, these courts here, well, they were initially cattle courts, but we used to keep pigs in them, which I hate pigs, but it was a way of making money out of old buildings, you know, that weren't doing anything. But so when the stone came along, I was absolutely delighted that we could get rid of the pigs. We've had days, there was one day.
Was this your apprentice wall?
Aye,
Is this where you learned to do it?
That wall actually, I don't know how long that wall's been up there, but there's a date stone up on it, 1732, you see it there?
Aye.
So that was definitely nothing to do with me. You know? Well, I mean, that stone there came from the quarry. It's bound to have done, you know.
Yeah.
And a lot of the houses about here were built with stone from the quarry. I find that really interesting. I'm kind of into the history side of it. So yeah, it's nice to think that that came from the quarry that we now.
Nice to think that somebody in 1732 was doing that and you're following in their footsteps without realising.
I can't do that, mind you, but yeah.
Denfind stone was soon being used to build dikes all over Scotland. Not content with that, Brian spotted another opportunity to supply stone to the house building market. But to do that, he needed to cut his stone to the right shape, and that requires some expensive new equipment. If he was to break into this new market, Brian had to take the decision to invest in a stone cutting guillotine.
It cost 23,000, but we were really lucky because Scottish Enterprise through Business Gateway and Arbroath agreed to part fund it, so we got £5,000 from them, which was a big help, you know, because it was a lot of money, but it was something we knew we were going to have to do, to be honest.
The decision to invest allowed Brian to take his business to a new level. Now Denfind Stone is enjoying success in a second market, and Brian has plans to keep expanding his business.
Brian's a great ideas person, ridiculous optimist as well. You know, he's always, yeah, we can do that, and I'm the one who's maybe more of a realist. But that balance, I think, is quite good. He's his sheer optimism, I think, and his sight, that his vision, that he can say, yeah, it's going to work, and it will work, and we'll just just his bloody mindedness, going back to people and not giving up, I think has been, and I sort of just trot along behind picking up everything else.
For me, it's mine, because when you're born into farming, well, I'm fourth generation, so you do the family farm, and that's fine, you know, but you want to put your own stamp on it, don't you? And doing the stone and getting it up and running myself gave me a lot of satisfaction, and that's what keeps me going, definitely.